welcome to the second edition of Nug and Cymek Review the DC New Universe. I'm Andrew Cymek.
And I'm Nug, and we are here inside the Silver Snail, and we are reviewing this week's release of the new 52 from DC. So let's get right to it with this week's first comic, Justice League International.
For me, I love all the characters in JLI. Booster Gold is one of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely.
They really nailed the camaraderie between the team and their differences already.
Well, and I also think they nailed the why they have to get together. It's the UN's response to all the heroes that are out there. It's time, I really like that line where they said it's time Joe Lunchpail had a team that
Right.
they can get behind.
Right. And Batman makes an appearance here, has some great lines. Really, for me, the standout is Rocket Red and... what's it? General Iron?
August General in Iron.
August General Iron.
In Iron.
In Iron. Which, their banter between each other is great. Seeing the different nations come together as superheroes. Amazing.
I really liked it. I really liked that opening page with all of the different heroes. Like, there was Creeper and B'wana Beast in there, which gives a D-lister like me, a big fan of D-listers, huge hopes that this team is going to expand and change as the comics move on. And hands down, one of the funniest lines in the book is where Booster asks Batman if the UN knows that he's on the mission with them, and he basically tells Booster he's hilarious.
Amazing. For me, it's a definite pickup. Go out, Justice League International.
Oh,
great
for sure.
Start.
Yeah, great book, great way to kick things off. Okay. Our next book is StormWatch.
So for me, I didn't really know much coming into StormWatch. When we're talking about titles that have a history, I mean, this is it's the Wildstorm universe, right?
It is mostly Wildstorm universe, yes.
And this is them combining it with the DC universe, and I really didn't know much about the Wildstorm universe.
That being said,
great book. Really interesting read. Got you excited for what's to come next. And I wasn't expecting that at all, having, not knowing the characters. But yeah, great read, really exciting.
I'm on board with anything that has Martian Manhunter in it, yep. And I really like the Stormwatch characters from Wildstorm, so it's great to see most of them back. Really enjoyed the book setting up this massive, universal, non-terrestrial threat.
Yeah.
The creepy giant eye in the middle of the moon, the Scourge of Worlds.
Right.
He sort of sounds like he's there to help.
The threat in Stormwatch seems very big and dangerous. I know with Justice League 1, we had the threat of the new gods coming back, and it's more of like an abstract thing. But here, the threat really feels like
it's real and it's creepy.
It's going to count, and it's creepy. And having Martian Manhunter in it to kind of bring in the other characters into this world. I mean, a lot of these powers, I mean, aside from Apollo, which is, what was Wildstorm's Superman.
Right.
A lot of interesting powers here that you don't really see.
Mm-hmm. That's what I always liked about Stormwatch, was that the heroes had crazy powers. And probably the greatest entrance of Midnighter. If you want to know what he's up to or what he's like, that's his entrance right there.
Great entrance for Midnighter.
Really good book.
Again, a pickup for us.
Absolutely. Our next book is Men of War, the army book that DC is putting out in the new 52. I have to say, I was shocked at how much I like this book. I'm not an army book guy. I'm not an army person. I'm not an army... I have no interest in the army. This book really, really interested me. I like that they've gone on this mission, and, we get the background of Corporal Rock.
Yep.
We get to see him turn into Sergeant Rock at the end. Spoilers. And it's just, it's a solid army book right up until there's a super that comes in.
Right, and for me, that's where it lost me.
Right.
I loved the first 15 pages where it's just an army book. The voice of Rock is amazing. You really get the relationship between all the characters, and it had me. I was like, this is an army book. This is great. It's doing everything it needs to do, and then a super showed up. And I felt like it was, and then a super showed up.
Right.
And for me, that was the issue, where it wasn't almost like a seamless transition.
Right.
And if the intent was to introduce a super, like these guys don't know what's going on as well, it's kind of sends everyone off kilter, then I think that's a good idea. But I was enjoying the war comic, without the super, that when it added, I don't know if it was a needed thing, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
I think that we were right in the trenches with them the whole book, which is why the super is presented as such a weird thing, and I think it throws us off guard as well as it does them.
Yeah.
But I really liked the backup story. And if you're going to charge, this is one of the 2 books this week that are $3.99, and if you're going to charge $3.99 for this book, you make it worth it. And the backstory was really great. The Navy SEALs was really good.
There's a lot of content, and it's good content. The voice of Sergeant Rock, he's got some killer lines in it. A really enjoyable read. I was actually looking forward to Men of War, and it didn't disappoint, although at the end I'm still unsure of how they're going to fit into this universe.
It's going to be very interesting to see where Men of War goes.
Yeah. And while we're talking about that, you were saying that it is very clear that DC, it's a combined effort to make this universe seem cohesive.
Yes, like they're all connected, and it's not just, I think it's not just a line-wide gimmick. I think they're trying to make sure all these things are connected.
Yeah, and it's great to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Because the energy in the writing shows, and the excitement in the writing of that they're trying to do this line-wide beast, really.
Right.
The excitement in the writing is there, and it's been really fun to read them.
Our next book is Swamp Thing. Holy crap.
Okay, so full disclosure, I'm a huge Snyder fan. I loved his run on Detective, loved The Gates of Gotham, don't know anything about Swamp Thing. Picked it up. For me, this is the book of the week.
Oh, it's an incredible book. Blew me away. I hadn't read any of Snyder's run on Detective, so blew me away how good of a real gritty. Like I found it really gritty, and I found the portrayal of Alec Holland particularly amazing. Like I haven't read him like that in a long time, and I have to say Superman makes an appearance and looks very regal in his new outfit. Thank you. Very regal, like it's his dress uniform.
Yeah, I mean, let's not talk about the Superman in the suit. You know how I feel about Superman in the suit.
Well, without underpants, they take him seriously.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it's a little intimidating like that. But Snyder, as a new reader coming to Swamp Thing, he really allows for new readers to jump in. It's eerie. Some of his writing is very poetic. Mm-hmm. And Paquette's art. I mean, we haven't talked about the art, but I loved his work on Batman Inc. He nails it on Swamp Thing.
There's one panel at the end that really reminds me of Seven Soldiers, Morrison's Seven Soldiers, like the very first book of Seven Soldiers, and it reminded me of that so much that it took me to that weird, eerie place, which is where you want to go with Swamp Thing, and it is so good. It's such a good book. It's your pick of the week.
It's my pick of the week. If there is a single book you buy, it is Swamp Thing #1. Now, if you think that we're all, we like everything that DC has put out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're going from my pick of the week to...
Oh, what do you say about Batwing? Well, I don't want to use the same line I'm going to use later for another book, but for me... I understand that this is part of the whole Batman Inc. thing, and I understand it's part of the whole Batman thing. You've been reading Batman Inc. I'm not a Batman fan. I haven't read much of Batman Inc. I really only know the names of the characters. I could have not read this and been just fine.
For me, I'm a Judd Winnick fan. I'm not afraid to say.
That's fine.
I think Under the Red Hood was an underrated tale. I enjoyed that, and I like a lot of Judd Winnick stuff. His Justice League International, Generation Lost. It was
I love
great.
that book.
I just don't know if I want... reading it, it just felt like it didn't need to exist.
No, I know who Batman is. I get who Batman is. That there's another dude doing the Batman thing in Africa really doesn't make that big a difference to me.
Whereas, like you were saying, you would read a Knight and Squire book
because
it has a different
feel.
Because
it has a different feel.
I would read Man of Bats.
I like this idea of Man of Bats.
You know, like,
I don't even know much about Man of Bats, but I would rather read a native Man of Bats title than this.
And maybe take a different tone. Instead, we kind of get a dark, another Batman character. It's the same thing. And unnecessarily graphic. And
yes, very graphic and very unnecessary. But I also have to say, as far as the artwork goes, Ben Oliver, every panel looks like you're not done. Even in when you're out in the grasslands and you're making it look like a wide open sky. Apparently, in a police station, there's a wide open sky. In a parking lot, there are buildings, but it's a wide open sky. It looks like you're not done. It looks like it was rushed, and your angles are so weird. I did not enjoy this.
The art for me, I can get what they were doing with the moodiness of it and the empty spaces.
Be moody, but not everything's an empty space. You're inside a police station.
I find that the existence of a comic is not necessarily its own purpose.
Exactly.
We're going to review the first arc of Batwing, so it could get better.
It could.
But for right now, not the best of the week.
Speaking of not the best, let's move lower to Hawk and Dove. Already universally reviled artist Rob Liefeld really outdoes himself on this. Characters look exactly the same. There is a major villain named Quirk, Alexander Quirk, and then later there's Washi Watanabe, the cop, and they look the same with different hair. Hank's dad looks like Don. Looks exactly like Don used to. Not Don Granger, but his brother Don. The artwork is brutal to the point where there's a villain that shows up who looks like a brown hawk. Like, it's just him recolored. There's even a part in the coloring where his outfit goes to jet black like he looked when he was extant. And that actually threw me off.
For me, a lot of times, if the art is shoddy or not quite there, I can forgive it if the story is there.
Sure.
But the story's not there.
Run, don't walk from this book. The story's not there.
From the opening panel, it was the one comic that made me laugh unintentionally.
Yes.
The opening panel, spoilers, they're in a plane that's headed toward the Washington Monument.
Now, I'm going to stop you right there because we're Canadian. September 11th is what? 6 days away? 5 days away? Not even. It's on the weekend coming up. You guys know, DC, you guys know this book comes out in December. I'm Canadian and I'm offended that in this comic you were flying a plane into the Washington Monument. It makes no sense anywhere else, into a mountain.
The Washington Monument is small. Like,
I know.
There's nothing around it. You can just...
Oh, no, but they still managed to clip it.
Yeah, I mean, just sway to the right and, like, it just, like, for me...
Honestly, your plane's like this and it's like this, do this.
It seemed like the choice of doing that was, hey, look at us, we're trying to be controversial, we're trying to be... It just doesn't work.
And it breaks my heart that they did so much good stuff with Hawk and Dove in Brightest Day, which really wasn't the greatest story, but I like what they did with Hawk and Dove in Brightest Day.
It got you excited.
I like what they did with them in Birds of Prey, but
yeah.
I don't like them in their own book, and that's rough.
Which is a shame.
That's a shame.
It's a shame.